The fabulous Global Champions Series and the Global Champions League goes to the semi-finals. Now we're going to take you through a little of what happens and what we think about it. Alongside me will be James Fisher to discuss this. An exciting night of competition, I can tell you. And if you thought you knew what was going to happen, well, you were in for a big surprise. This was the form book. Right out the window. We will find out what happened. James, what an exciting day it was.
It was, I mean, a thrilling end. You know, just what we expected didn't possibly happen, but we'll have a look, shall we?
Should we delve? Should we delve?
Yes.
Should we start off by looking at the Paris Panthers, who were the best performers on the day, because it was a brilliant performance by a host of teams. Now the question was who was going to qualify through to those fabulous finals. 6 would go through, 6 would go out. So let's have a little look at who's in, and then we can take you a little of who's out of what happened there. So Paris Panthers came out of it as the best performing team again, and they did brilliantly, and so they are in. Madrid in Motion, last year's winners, are in as well, as are the rest that we see up there. The Monaco Aces, the Shanghai Swans, and also the Cannes Stars, who's been the surprise one. Valkenswaard United, top 3 finished last year in the Super Cup, put themselves into the frame. So let's start there. As I say, best performers of the day with the Paris Panthers, and I have to say one of the best performing riders that we've seen so far this week, not unsurprisingly, Dara Kenny.
Yeah, I mean, amazing. You know, with Romeo, he was perhaps his second choice with Ballot de Reventon jumping clear yesterday, and he just does just one round after another, just superb, just does not make a mistake. Cool as a cucumber. Every one of his horses jumps superb at the moment. He's got a string of horses, but this one in particular.
But it was a really difficult line down there, wasn't it? And this horse's manoeuvrability really...
Yeah, the line caused trouble for most of them. That was the line to jump. It was a bit of a bogey line. But this team really did perform together and very close to really doing our triple clear, which nobody's done. Niall Nassar, yesterday, 8 faults, had to come out tonight, probably under more pressure than the others. And to pull out a clear on Lucifer was tremendous. You know, really great stuff. And that set them up. They had clear. Gregory Waterley, third rider to go, hardly ever makes a mistake, does he? And just one tiny mistake. Not much of a mistake. It was just a little touch. And I mean, there were still many teams to go. We thought there would be a triple clear, but they were the ones that held it on that score. It was just incredible how the course rode, really, how Julio Fasani had set that course out. Well, it rode well, but just had faults.
It was enough to sort them out. Let's put Paris Panthers to one side. We're going to see them into the final. Now, the best performers in the quarterfinals that we saw were the Miami Celtics. Now, big surprise here. They finished 5th in the series overall. We thought they were really one of the strong ones in here. And Jessica Springsteen coming onto the team this time for the first time. They made a swap yesterday from Shane Breen. And it looks a bit of a wrong-footed move, unfortunately.
Perhaps. And that second fence, Cecile was just perhaps a little bit slow coming off that front rail. Nothing Jessica did really wrong. And it was an early fence and put a lot of pressure on her for the finish of the round. And Cadeau de Muse came in. There we are, William Whitaker, and really superb, not on the fastest horse. Again, yesterday he did the same sort of round. Very intelligent riding and really impressive with that one. And there we go, Mulligrin touched the stars. Michael Duffy, look at this. I mean, I don't think any horse jumped higher than that tonight. He was thrilled to bits, really, with that. I mean, they're not in. They just missed out, but he's got to be pleased with that performance. That was really special.
It was 12 there from Jessica Springsteen first out. The 2 boys fought back, William Whitaker and Michael Duffy, both with clears for them, but it wasn't enough.
No, it was uphill from then. They knew that, but really to pull out a couple of clears like that was pretty special. They... you really wanted to be in, but I thought there was a bit of magic with their team, especially after last night, and I thought that they would go with that, and I thought they'd get through. Yeah.
Anyway, bye-bye to them. Madrid in Motion, the winners of last year's Super Cup. Let's go on to them. Are they going to be in it? Yes, they are going to be in it. And at this point of the competition, we also should remind everyone, if you were following it, 8 faults was on the cusp of either being well in there, being in sort of second spot, dependent on time, or you were out of the qualifying. And by this point, it was a big one. Eric van der Vleuten going first, finishing on the 4 with Wunschkind.
Yeah, I don't think that line rode how he expected it to. The horse pitched after the triple bar, left him having to do the 5 strides. He shook his head there. He thought, no, that wasn't it. son Michael up next knew he had to really do a clear, Dana Blue, and saw what his dad did. And although it jumped a super round, that's fence 4 there, he had the same problem with that tricky line, that triple bar to the double. And as you say, the 4 and the 4, it wasn't looking great. Eduardo Alvarez Aznar, Rockefeller, we saw him last year, how important his round was to win last year. He was really under pressure, but time was on his mind from the beginning, and that's what got them through. He had to be really quick. He was quick from the start, and under pressure did such a super round. I mean, that was one of the rounds of the night.
That was the pressure round.
Yeah,
I mean,
it was the pressure round.
In the place was amazing.
He did a tremendous job, and the horse just absolutely reacted to his drive.
And that shifted them right up into the top view, guaranteed their spot. It left 2 teams left to come, Saint-Tropez Pirates and the London Knights. Now on form, you've seen me throw the form book away. This is what happens. Saint-Tropez Pirates, second in the league overall. Strong in there, Edwina Thops-Alexander, Danny Waldman, Peter de Vos. Edwina, it all came apart.
It was a shame. Yeah, you know, this horse isn't as experienced as some we're watching. Perhaps wouldn't be as her first pick. She had to jump tonight, and it was a big ask, really. She'd be a bit disappointed, you know, coming out with that score, but you know, it got worse and worse as it went round. But it's just one of those days. But she had to go. Here we've got Danny Waldman with this horse, Casper, an older horse, perhaps again one she wouldn't expect to ride in this team final, but a semi-final. But
again, you go back to the Pirates. You know, if Edwina could have had California, Danny could have had Lizzie Mary. That's the change around.
It's the way the season goes, isn't it? And you're left with that choice. And they had an uphill battle really to pull it off tonight. And not terrible. But and then Peter Vos, you know, didn't start.
Didn't start by that point because they were already out of the qualifying. So the team that was second in the championship were out. And what about the rest of the teams that were out of the running in there too? Because another big surprise in there, as you'll see from this, amongst those teams not going through, we saw the Prague Lions just about miss out on their slot. We saw the Saint-Tropez Pirates, but we also saw the teams eliminated there, including the London Knights, the team that had been the best of the season by a long way. That was a big shocker.
It was sort of uncomfortable to watch. We expected so much. Last to go. On paper, just an unbelievable team. Brilliant riders, brilliant horses.
Yeah.
So much expectation.
5 wins.
Yeah, and Olivier Philippart's, the 8 faults, it sort of was, it was uncomfortable. And one of those faults was the last fence. And it almost like sealed their fate, really. That was it. When that last fence went, the Cartec Group 1, it was like 8 faults. It was so much pressure on the other 2
guys had then got to produce a clear. Clooney, Martin Fuchs, one of the very few 4s that they had.
And you know, this is pretty much cold into this arena to come at this level. And that's that double of verticals after the triple bar and just clipped it behind for the 4 faults. Not a bad round, but it was just the fact of what happened with Olivier Philippart's. Not terrible, but that last fence hangs in my mind.
Now they were at 12 at this point. We did get to see Ben Mayer and Explosion W jump because they're heading in for the Grand Prix tomorrow, so they were getting ahead of that as well. Lovely to see those 2 go and jump spectacularly.
Great for the crowd here. I mean, we've really wanted to see this horse jump, and it was a special round. It really was. I mean, we just saw one slow-mo of that, but the technique of the horse, we know that horse now is one of the horses of a lifetime, really. And it's great to see it here, and it's great we're going to see it again. But what a night of drama. And who would have thought that it would finish like that with those great teams going out? Saint-Tropez Pirates, London Knights. It's just, A
few surprises in terms of the
absolutely.
top end. And I won't say surprises from the bottom end, if you like, but 1 or 2 without the form have come into this, the likes of the Cannes Stars.
The Cannes Stars did great, I mean, I sort of wanted them to stay in there, having got that far, but I thought they would definitely be out with London Knights going last. I thought that was it, but you know, there was something there tonight. They're in. They've clawed their way into this position.
Almost
final.
Literally, as Jane Richard Phillips came out the saddle.
Yes, well, that was we've seen that over and over. But she went out of the ring beaming. You know, she had 4 faults. Normally 4 faults, she's shaking her head, but she knew how fortunate she was. Unlucky to get unseated because she got a little bit tight to that oxer, but the horse responded so well. But then to lose her seat and the stirrup, but it came back just in time in a matter of, I think she's got about 10 strides to a triple bar, sort of going into the most difficult line in that course, and it all came back. She improvised and got away with it. So great to see, and she was thrilled to bits, wasn't she?
Quick wrap up then. Team you're looking forward to seeing most in the final now?
I would say I still like Madrid Emotion. I think because of what Eduardo did tonight. Yeah, they looked strong. I like the Van der Vleuten team. Yeah, I know they were here last year. It's probably an obvious one, but I like them.
They look good. James, thank you very much. We're going to be in commentary for that on the final day for that build-up to that Global Champions League Super Cup and throughout the class. Make sure you join us for that. There's a little background of what happened in the semi-finals. Who will lift the cup in the end? Only one way to find out. Be with us for the final on Sunday. It's going to be exciting stuff. Who knows where that form book will finish up. See you then.